So we're headed over back towards the center of town because we're going on tour today to the Douro Valley. It's also Saturday. It is Saturday. But we're really excited about this. This was like one of the things that we were like, no, we have to do this. This was on our must-do list for both of us. So we're doing a full day tour because that was kind of the easiest way to get there and see things without a car and without having to do a bunch of stuff. So we found it like relatively inexpensive tours based on tours that we booked in the past. Yeah, they're around like 80 to, yeah, so it wasn't too bad. But we're excited to go. We're going to hop on the train down to the center of Porto to start the tour. Okay, so we're on our first stop, and we are in Amarante, and it just so happens there's definitely like a festival going on. I think it's just like the June, like the festival of June maybe, but there was that whole little parade that came by, and people are like paying. Oh yeah, it is Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, and it's my birthday month. But yeah, there's a little parade going through. There's like a whole carnival set up down by the river. But there is a market that happens every Wednesday and Saturday, and we just happen to be here on Saturday. So we have like an hour-ish of free time here. So we're going to, now it's like 30 minutes. But we're going to go walk through the market a little bit, see what there is before we keep heading on the tour down to the Douro Valley. So when we were driving here, we went through one of the vineyard kind of valleys. So apparently there's two separate types of vineyards, I guess. The ones that we passed through aren't the ones that grow the grapes for the port wine, which is what obviously like Porto in Portugal is kind of famous for. That I think she said is closer to like the Douro Valley. But the ones closer to Porto itself grow the grapes for the green wine, which our host for our Airbnb actually gave us a bottle of green wine that we haven't tried yet. But it was interesting because she said that it's not always, it's not green, but two, it's literally any color. So you can find red, white, and rosé green wine, which is kind of interesting. So now I'm like, I feel like I want to try it. She said it's very light and not like super heavy or anything, and you have to drink it cold regardless of which color it is. So I'm excited to actually try that when we get home. I think the ones that we get on this tour are all port wines, I think, which we haven't tried any still, so I'm excited about that. But this was a nice little stop. We got to head back to the bus before we hit our second stop. Oh my God, it's a little dragon. That's so cool. Okay, so we're officially in the Douro Valley now. We have beautiful views of like the valley, and then on the other side of this building, you can see the like, I feel like it's the famous picture with the mountains and the river at the bottom. But on the way over here, she was talking about the history of port wine and like how it's actually made. And so originally it was made and traded with England, but by the time it got to England, it had gone bad. So they figured out a way to basically stop the fermentation process. So they would make it, bottle it, or kind of start the process. 2 days later, they would put what translates to burning water, which is basically, she said, like 70% alcohol into the wine to stop the fermentation process, which is why it's such a strong wine. And then that also makes it so that all of the sugar doesn't break down in the grapes, so it's actually sweeter. But it was really cool. I had no idea why. I mean, I've had port wine before, but I didn't really know. Yeah, I've had it before. This is supposed to be a first. Well, I've had it in food. I don't know if I have had sips of it sometimes, But yeah, I didn't know like why it was actually made, how it's made. And it feels like she said the only port wine is made in the Douro Valley. This is kind of the only region that can like officially make port wine. So it feels very much like champagne, and you can only like, it's only champagne if it comes from the Champagne region in France. But I'm excited to try lunch. We're supposed to get some wine with lunch, and then I think I'm not sure if this is the vineyard we're going to or if we're going to a different one after, but so far it's been really nice, and it's beautiful out here. It's nice and cool today. There's a nice breeze. It's not hot, so that's nice. Okay, so we stopped and got to do a little vineyard tour and do a little wine tasting. So we got 3 different wines. We got 2 ports, like kind of ruby, more aged port, and then like a red port. And then we got just like a regular red table wine. And honestly, they were so good. Even KP, she is not a huge wine drinker and actually really liked the port. It was very sweet, so it's like a much different taste than your normal like red or white wine. But it's so good. And the vineyard tour guide was like, this is a great thing to have if you have any sorts of like cheeses or even chocolate and kind of like desserts type stuff. It was honestly so good. And it's beautiful here, like right along the valley. You have all of the different vineyards over here. You have little roads that go through. One of the roads that I think we got footage of was actually in the last Fast and Furious movie, and it got closed down for, I don't remember how long they said, but I think it was 2021. It got closed down to film the movie, but it was pretty cool. And honestly, it's been a beautiful day so far. I think we have one more stop. We're doing a riverboat kind of cruise down the Douro River, which is going to be really cool. But yeah, it's been awesome so far.